Hi everybody, I'm Gabrielle Saran. Thank you for watching. Today this series is called Moving from the Core. So we're going to take it back to the basics and really focus on engaging the core and moving from the core, because that is the most important part about Pilates. A lot of us get it wrong, and in order to get all the benefits from the practice, you need to know this stuff. All you need today is either a fitness ball or a chair. If you get a chair, grab a napkin or something that you can kind of slide on the chair with your hand. I am 14 weeks pregnant, so this is prenatal friendly. All right, let's get started. Okay, so go ahead and start sitting on the ball or the chair. So again, this series is really taking it back to the basics. So I'm gonna cue a lot for this series. All right, so finding the peaks of your sit bones underneath your butt there. Making sure that you're not overarching like this. See how my back is indented? And then make sure that you're not kind of sinking into it like this either with a tucked pelvis. We want to sit right on top of the sit bones. Hands can stay on the lap. And then instead of just collapsing down, go ahead and grow super tall. So without sticking your chest forwards, just think of the spine lengthening upwards towards the ceiling, the crown of the head lifting up. A lot of times when we want to gain some length, we'll lift the chest up a little bit, but that actually compresses the back of the neck. So think of lengthening through the back of the neck. Lengthen this by reaching this up to the sky. We're going to take a big inhale into the belly. Fill your belly up with air. On the exhale, draw the belly in, away from your shirt, away from your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Keep going, you guys, at your own pace. When you exhale, make sure you're not sinking down like this. So to help you prevent that, inhale, grow tall. Exhale, keep that length, keep growing tall as you push the air out, drawing navel to spine. Few more. As the belly pulls in, that's your deepest abdominal layer tightening up. And that's your that's a big stabilizer for the spine, lower back, and pelvis. Good, you guys. Now that you've got that down, let's go ahead and place hands back on the thighs, on top of the thighs, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, draw the belly in and up. Float the right foot off the floor. Set it back down. Exhale, other leg. Draw the belly in, so move from the core. Set it back down. One more on each side. One arm on top of the other. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, draw the belly in, rotate to the right. Try not to shift your knees. Inhale, back center. Draw the belly in first, then rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate to the right. Hold, float your right foot off the floor. Keep drawing that belly in, grow tall. Set the foot down, come back center. Exhale, draw the belly in. Rotate to the left, float your left foot off, grow tall. Set the foot back down, come back center. Hands either behind your head or fingertips to temples if that's more comfortable. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw the belly in as you rotate. Try not to lean back, try not to sink into your seat. Inhale, center. Exhale. Adding the feet. Inhale, center. Exhale, draw the belly first, rotate, hold, float your right foot off the floor. Keep pulling navel to spine, relaxing the shoulders down. Place the foot down, come back center. Other side, navel in. Exhale, rotate. Float your left foot off the floor. Keep growing tall. Foot down, come back center, and relax the arms. So there's most likely a side for you that's a little more challenging. For me, it's when I twist to the left. We're all a little lopsided, so it's good to kind of work single sides. Okay, so from here we're gonna come on off. You're gonna keep your ball or your chair. This is when you wanna grab your napkin if you have a chair, so you can place your hand on your napkin so that your hand can glide on the seat. Okay, so let's have our knees together, inner thighs together, hand on the ball or the chair. Left hand, so my right hand is on the ball, left hand on the hip. Dropping the shoulders. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see here for a second. A lot of times we have tendency of overarching the lower back like this and just kind of crunching that lower back, letting the belly hang. That's not great for the low back, and it's not helping the core engage. So if you're doing this, I want you to think of that tailbone instead of pulling up like it is doing now. Pull your tail gently to the floor and see how this part of my spine kind of lengthens out. From here, keep that and pull the belly in and up like we practiced. Okay, so lengthen tail to floor. Draw the belly in. We're going to side bend to the right without letting our hips pull to the left. So just side bending, let the ball kind of pull to the right. If you're on the chair, your hand's just gonna glide. Draw the belly in to come back up. Belly pulls in to flex to the right. Draw the belly in to come back up. Another trick here is to really squeeze the inner thighs together, especially on your way up. That inner thigh connection is going to connect you with your pelvic floor and your transverse abdominis even more. If you would like this a little harder, place your left hand behind your head. So while we side bend, imagine you are in a giant panini press. So that means that you are flat. You're trying not to stick your head forwards or trying not to stick your butt back like this. You're pushing your hip creases forwards. You're gently pulling the back of your head back. Let's go for 3 more. Navel to spine. Move from your core. And 2. Strong inner thighs. Last one. Awesome, you guys switched it over. If you have a ball, you can just bring it over to the other side. Right hand starts on your hip. Squeeze the inner thighs, drop the shoulders. Inhale here. Exhale, navel to spine, flexing to the left. Use your core, use your obliques to come back up. So again, try not to let the hips pull to the right. And again, imagine that giant panini press. So your hip creases are pushing forwards, the back of the head gently back. Remembering to engage your core as you come up. Think of here when you're side bending to the left, think of anchoring down through your right knee especially. Let's do 3 more. And 2. Great for oblique work here. Last one. And back up. Awesome, you guys. All right, you can place your ball or your chair aside. Go ahead and sit down on your mat. Feet are gonna stay planted on the mat, and you're going to lie all the way down on your back. Okay, for the pregnant mamas, if you're further along than me and you want your heart up a little higher, go ahead and use a wedge or a couple pillows and place them underneath your back. Okay, so lying down, we're going to find our neutral spine. Neutral spine is natural curve of the spine. So imagine we want the same curves that we had when we were sitting down. So this is me with a tucked pelvis, a posterior tilt. Do you see how my lower back is pressing into the mat? And this is me with an anterior tilt where my lower back is way off the mat, so much so that the mid back is off the mat as well. We want something in between the two. So think of your rib cage, the back of your ribs here, pushing into the mat, that stays down. And then your tailbone stays down, the bottom tip of your spine. And then there's a little space underneath that lower back. You can also think of it as your hip bones and the top of your pubic bone as forming like a triangle that stays parallel to the floor. Okay, if for some reason you're dealing with some back issues or you don't find that little space between the lower back, If you're trying to keep your ribs down, then just prioritize the ribs staying down. If that means that your lower back presses into the mat, no big deal. That's way better than lifting the ribs off the mat. Okay, so hands on the hips, neutral spine, relax the shoulders. We're going to take this time and inhale into our side ribs instead of inflating the belly. So inhale into the ribs, exhale, relax the shoulders, draw the belly in. On your next inhale, keep the belly drawn in as you inflate, as you fill the lungs up with air to the side ribs. Exhale. One more. Nice, you guys. Next inhale, same pattern. Float your right leg up to tabletop. Exhale. Float it back down. Other leg. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Keep going, you guys. This is called marching. So as you march, the point of this exercise is core engagement, pelvic stability, lumbopelvic stability, meaning keeping your pelvis and your lower back as stable as you can as the legs move. So no rocking back and forth, no rocking side to side. Moving with your breath. Exhale to lower the leg, inhale to lift it. Think of a marble on your belly button. You are scooping in. The spine is long. Next time you bring one leg up to tabletop, hold it there. Bring the other leg up to meet it. So already this position is a lot harder than our marching, because the ribs really want to pop up like this. So take a second to press those ribs down, relax the shoulders as much as you can. If you still have that little space underneath the lower back, great. If it bothers you to have a little space there, go ahead and pull your thighs in a little bit closer towards your belly so that your lower back is pressing into the mat. Okay, so holding it here. Navel to spine, think of that marble scooping in. You are going to keep a 90-degree-ish angle in your knee, one leg at a time. Goes hinging from the hip, goes down just 2 inches. Float that thigh back up, and then the other side, hinging from the hip, not the knee, and float that leg back up. Exhale, go down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Lift up. Good. Keep going, you guys. Your priority is to pull your belly away from your shirt and to press your back ribs into the mat. If you would like it a little harder, you can tap your toe down all the way to the mat, but please try to only lower that leg only as low as you can keep that stability in your spine and the engagement of your core, that belly in. A lot of times I'm going to show you something wrong here. We tend to do this. So see how I'm just kind of bending from the knee and not letting my thigh pull away from me? Try to keep that same angle on the knee, and it's the thigh pulling away from you and pulling back in. Just a few more. Think of those stubborn lower back ribs, even those guys pressing into the mat. And then rest your feet on the mat. Open your knees out to the sides. Enjoy a nice stretch. And then go ahead and come up or roll over onto one side and come all the way back up. All right, let's work on our C curve. So our C curve or half roll down, there's a lot of stuff that you can do in Pilates with that shape. So it's really good to get the basics in of that shape. All right, so let's start with our feet flat on the mat, knees bent, and let's start with placing our hands right underneath our thighs. Okay, use your arms to sit up tall. Roll your shoulders back. We're going to inhale, exhale, tuck your pelvis. By tucking, I mean the tailbone goes under, the pubic bone pulls up, and start to roll it back halfway. Only go back halfway as low as you can keep your feet down. but don't go down too low. Okay, staying here for our first one. If you are over rounding like this, which most of us do, think of opening up through your collarbones, pulling the collarbones wide, but think of pulling your pubic bone up towards your belly button. Now, actively pull your thighs towards you without actually moving your thighs and draw the belly in deeper. You should feel that core activation a little bit more. Then from here, release the grip a little bit on the thighs. Use your core to come back up. And again, tuck your tail, roll it back, lengthen through the spine, long curve, belly to spine. Pull those thighs towards you to deepen your abdominal scoop and come all the way back up. One more like this. Roll, tuck, roll it back, lengthen out. Widen the collarbones, pull on those thighs, deepen the abdominal scoop. And come back up, adding on, inhale. Exhale, roll it back, lengthen the spine, hold. Loosen your grip on your thighs, but don't lose your core. Pull that belly in. Lift one arm out. Place it back underneath your thigh. Other arm. Place it back underneath your thigh. One more on each side. Exhale. Hand. Good. Now stay here, you guys. We're going to float the right arm up and pause. Reach your right heel out. Flex your foot. Reach through that heel. Leg is straight. The belly pulls in. Bend the knee, hand behind your thigh. Other side. Reach the left arm out. Reach the left heel out. Pull the heel that way as your belly goes in the opposite direction. And then bend back in. Keep going, you guys. So a lot of times in Pilates, there are oppositional pulls, that stretching of the body as we keep our core and muscles engaged. All about that powerhouse, that control, that pull from within. One more on the left. Foot down, come all the way back up. Open your knees out to the sides. Give yourself a little rock if you like. All right. Okay, for this next one, we're going to come up onto our knees and work our kneeling plank. So, hands are going to go, wrists are going to go right underneath your shoulders. And then knees, let's walk them back a little bit further. And you can always readjust when you go into your plank. So let's have the knees together. I like to tuck my toes, but if you prefer to have the backs of your feet or the tops of your feet rather on the mat, go for it. Okay, pull your hips forward so that you're a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. If you notice that this happened where your shoulders are way past your wrists, just walk your hands forwards. All right, couple things here to fine tune our plank. Make sure you're not locking the elbows out like this. Keep them a little bit bent. Now squeeze your inner thighs and tuck your pelvis. Think of pulling your pubic bone up towards your belly button. Draw the belly in. Awesome. Now that's nice and strong. Let's focus on the mid upper back. If you're over rounding, pull those collarbones through. So a trick for that, imagine there's a light on that top of the chest and you want it to shine forwards, or think of the back of your armpits pulling together and down on your back. Keep that, you guys. Make sure you're not looking up too high. You're not dropping the head. Head stays in line with the spine. Strong inner thighs. Focus on that core. Belly pulls in and up. Strong inner thighs, strong glutes. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can untuck your toes, sit down on your heels. And let's add on. If that was a challenge enough, you can just keep working on that. Okay, I'm going to add on one element here. So, returning back to our kneeling plank, focusing on all those cues that I've told before. Tucking the tail, drawing the belly in, pulling the collarbones through, tight inner thighs. From here, you're going to extend the right leg back, plant that foot down, reach through your heel. So think about those oppositional forces. Reach your heel back, reach your crown of the head forwards and draw the belly in deep. Set the knee down, other side. Plant the foot, reach it back. Reach from the heel to the crown of the head as you draw the belly in. This should be intense, you guys. Other side. Still thinking of elongating that lower back, pulling the tail towards your heels. 3 more. And knees wide. Go ahead and take a nice child's pose. Forehead can go on the mat. And to finish up this part 1 of this Move from the Core series, we're going to do a back extension. So it's really important to work back extensions from the core, all right? The Pilates way. So that's going to support your lower back. It's going to decompress your spine. It's going to help you find some length. So go ahead and sit. You can actually either sit on your ball, sit on your chair, sit on your heels, whatever position feels best for you to kind of keep a nice long spine. So I'm going to stay here seated on my heels and then relaxing the shoulders down. We're just going to think about that spot right here, kind of for the ladies, it's like right around the bra line, right around the mid back, and then just bring some attention to that spot. You can even kind of touch it if you want, massage it a little bit, just to bring your focus there. And now lengthen your tail to the floor like we practiced today. We're going to bring our arms in a goal post, so palms facing forwards. Really important to keep the shoulders relaxed. Now draw your belly in. Think of that spot you just touched or massaged or just thought about, and we're going to bend from that spot, tilt the chest up, and then come back to starting position. So notice that I didn't do this where I overarched my lower back and I pushed my belly and my chest forwards. This part of the body does not move. It is in cement, non-moving, core engaged though. So again, draw the belly in. Tilt your breastbone up. Come back to neutral. Navel to spine first, then tilt your breastbone up. Come back center. So you should feel some muscle activation over here towards that mid upper back. Let's continue. Draw the belly in, tilt the breastbone up. Don't look up too high, but do let your gaze shift up. Come back center. 3 more. Navel to spine. Back to neutral. 2 more. Navel to spine. Grow tall. Come back center. Last one. Navel to spine. Grow tall. And back center. Relax the arms. All right. Good job, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this part 1 of the Move from Your Core series. It's all about going back to the basics and really focusing on all the little stuff that makes Pilates Pilates. I also uploaded the part 2 of this series, so make sure you watch that. Bye, you guys.